Yo, this is Mike Bland. Welcome to the Leadership Fellowship Podcast, where you got to be qualified to have a conversation. Let's go. Yo, what's going on? This is episode 5. So happy to have a phenomenal guest with us today. She's like a sister to me. Blood couldn't make us any closer. You gotta, if you look at her calendar, you see she's booked all the time. So to have her today is an honor and a pleasure. The infamous Mama Hill, class of 05, right? 2005, Long Branch High School? 2006. Wow, we're old. We're aging ourselves. So Mama Hill, pleasure to have you. What's going on?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Mama Hill. My real name is Erin, but I go by Mama Hill, and I do vegan catering here in New Jersey. We also just launched a luxury picnic service. Onto everything, and we're booming.
Mama Hill, entrepreneur. She's a mama. She's a wife. She's a sister. She does it all. As you can see, she's as gorgeous gets. So let's get ready to jump into this. So you're like you said, you're a chef. Where'd you go to? You went to culinary school, right?
I did actually. Funny enough, I went to a French Culinary Institute in Soho, New York. Shortly after I graduated high school.
Right.
And I thought I was going to go into the pastry business. I was going to work in a bakery, do wedding cakes, things like that. I loved culinary school. I loved going to culinary school, woke up, took the train every morning at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Into the city. I loved every bit of it. What happened is when we graduated, the recession hit.
Oh, so that was what? That was
07-ish?
Yeah, that was Bush. Yeah, 07, 08, yeah.
So there was no jobs. I ended up waitressing, going into retail sales, and got stuck doing that for almost 10 years. So,
right.
I really found my love for cooking again after I had the baby, and we were vegetarian, vegan.
Right.
And then we kind of just wanted to kind of create our own dishes, and that's how Mama Hill got started.
So, I mean, this is the crazy thing, because I can always remember back to, we've been friends for years, right? Yeah. I mean, God. So I remember we did like our first Friendsgiving, and you cooked at your place, and this was when you lived over, God, what's that, Lloyd Manor? Lloyd Manor. Yep. And so I was like, damn, Ann is a great chef. So what was your love that brought you to cooking? Like, when did you fall in love with cooking? Because I could ask Jerome, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Right.
So I'm gonna ask you when you fell in love with cooking.
Well, honestly, not to be funny, and I can say this because my mom knows we joke around about it, but I grew up in a household where my mom didn't cook. I mean,
oh wow!
Sometimes it was cereal, popcorn for dinner, hot dogs, macaroni and cheese. Like,
right.
If it came out of a can or a box, like, I'm not kidding. Like, that's how it was. And she worked late, so we were basically feeding ourselves most of the time. We're waiting until she got home. So,
right.
I never really experienced like home cooking growing up.
Right. So this was something totally new, right? Totally new. You didn't have a big mama. You didn't have a Gigi you used to watch over and really cook. This was something you really.
We're Irish. My grandma, she cooked. My grandma in Florida, she cooked a lot. She lived in Egypt for years, so.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Mediterranean, which was good.
Right.
But my side that was here, Irish. So you cook on Christmas, which is simple, Thanksgiving, and St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
And the food's very good, but other than that, that's it.
Wow. So I never thought about that. You grew up in a house, so it's really like you really, it's like you taught yourself how to ride a bike, basically, right? Like you put the bike together, you did all that, right? So talking about like this first dish where you were like, because you say you focus on vegan food, obviously, you used to cook meat and all that. And that was the thing, right? Like, even with vegan food, I can never really make the transition, right? Because I'm like, okay, I need I'm like, I can do pescatarian. I need some other kind of protein. So, like, talk about that. Like, what was like, was it the tofu scramble? Like, what was the first meal you made? Like, I can do this, right? Like,
definitely not tofu.
Because that's what people think, right? You think vegetarian, you think tofu, right? You think
it's crazy because there's all these, and that kind of like forced me into finding other ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Like off the bat, we did a lot of processed replacements.
Yeah.
We still eat that stuff now.
Right.
Anything that was familiar to ground meat or chicken and sausage.
Yeah.
We tried all those things, but it forced me into another box where I had to open up tofu. How can I manipulate this? What is tempeh? What is seitan? And I just really wanted to create recipes at first so we would like the food.
Right.
Like I said before, we would go out to eat around here to vegan spots, and it was earthy. It was unfamiliar to us.
Right.
honestly, I didn't want to do catering. I didn't want to sell food. And that was something I was very firm about. And then we did our first pop-up. And then I was asked to cater for an event, and I've never done that before. I didn't have a menu.
Right.
I didn't have pricing.
Right.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
So you just winging it, right? You were just like...
Yeah, shout out to Quick in college for that. They gave me my first catering gig, and here we are.
Then it just blew up, right?
It blew up. Like, every pop-up since then, like, I had a lot of help behind the scenes. My girlfriends, my mom, Jerome, a lot of moving parts, and
right.
like, people just wanted more, and that blew my mind.
So
because there was nothing like it around here. Not to toot my own horn, but when you find your own style and you fill a gap, people, they want to support. They
right.
want, dang, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, they just want to be a part of your journey so bad because
right.
they're intrigued by how you made this look like chicken or how you made this look
right,
like fish.
Right.
And honestly, it's just a lot of experimenting. It's a lot of long nights, early days, and just discipline and consistency.
So that's crazy because, right, like, you're not like I like to call, you're not like the fried chicken circuit, right? Like, you're doing it all, right? You're not just like fried chicken, mac and cheese, and greens, right? You're kicking out dishes that everybody's asking for, right? I mean, the empanadas I had were crazy. I mean, you've got like the jackfruit, what is it? The jackfruit macaroni side. I mean, just so many, like the buffalo. I mean, everything, any and everything you do. So I think that's like what really, like, it's beyond like the support. It's different, right? And so. I mean, I guess the unique thing I'd want to ask too is, like, how does that transition to your lifestyle, right? So you have Olivia, who's your daughter, 3, right? Olivia's 3. Love Liv. Shout out to Liv. You know, how does that transition into her wellness, like her diet? How do you, like, is she vegan? Is she vegetarian? Do you find that being a healthy option? Like I think that's something like a lot of people probably would want to know, and like, how do they, you know, introduce their kids to that?
So. Actually, I'm glad you're asking this because I get a lot of DMs about what does Olivia eat? Is she vegan? Is she vegetarian? Is she this? Is she that? And listen, you know, these kids don't come with manuals. I don't know. We don't have the answers, right?
Yeah.
So the way we do things is that Jerome and I are vegan, for sure.
Right.
She's going to grow up knowing that we're vegan, why we don't buy animal products, why we don't eat animal products. She's vegetarian right now.
Right.
She likes pizza and she likes her white cheddar popcorn.
Liv loves that white. She loves that smart food.
And the thing is, other than that, she's probably 95% vegan.
Oh wow.
So with that said, we never want to make her feel that she can't eat whatever she wants.
Right.
And that's how a lot of eating disorders develop. So I don't ever want her to, you know, be shamed into something because she wanted to try a chicken nugget,
right?
Or she went to a sleepover and had pizza,
right?
Or a chicken sandwich, or you know, we're gonna get to this age where she has Halloween parties and birthday parties. So,
right.
So what are we gonna make her feel bad because she wants a piece of cake?
Right. So or you just make the cake.
Or you just make the cake, but right. that's weird too. Like,
yeah.
So are we taking inclusion away from her when we send her with food?
Right.
And the thing is, she understands. Like, she will understand to an extent. You know, and she can make her own choice.
Yeah.
But we never want to shame her into being vegan. It's her choice.
That's a good approach.
Think about some stuff that stuck with you when you were little.
Yeah.
I mean, one for me was like, if you know, you can't do this until you finish what's on your plate.
Right.
If I was full, I was still eating that food really fast.
Right. So you go.
And finish it. That still sticks with me to this day.
Wow. I never thought about that. When you put it like that. Right.
That's still hard to give up. Like, do I have to finish everything now? and I'm full. Like,
right.
I never want her to grow up feeling like, oh, I can't have that. Oh, there's an egg in it. Oh, there's this and that.
So she doesn't do eggs.
She doesn't do eggs. She doesn't do anything. But if she, in 2 years, if we went to breakfast and she ordered bacon and eggs,
right,
I wouldn't stop her.
Yeah.
I would make sure she knew what it was.
Right.
But it's her body.
Right. I think that's interesting too, because you figure out, like, you know, science tells you, or your pediatrician tells you, oh, your baby needs like milk and it is. I'm like, they don't need that, right? The only milk they need is a milk from their mother, right? And then, like, and so you're giving her these healthy options now, right? And so, like you're preventing a lot of like the diabetes, high blood pressure, all that stuff. You're not shoving the sugars and the salts all in them out. But I think that's like, I love it. I think that, I'd love to see more of that. I think that, have you ever thought about incorporating that in your menu, like healthy dishes or vegan dishes or vegan options for the little ones? I think, I always joke and call her Baby Hill, but
yeah. No. I got some ideas for the kids.
Yeah, you always come up with something. No. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll run it back. Let's take a quick break.
Let's do that.
Welcome back to the Leadership Fellowship Podcast, where we have the ever overbooked Mama Hill joining us today. So again, thank you for joining us, Mama Hill.
Thank you.
Yeah, you touched on something which was good in the beginning of the conversation. You talked about now you do these luxury picnics, right? And it's so funny because I remember like you talking about the idea, and I was like, yo, that's so dope. Like somebody can hook you up with the luxury picnic concept. It's blown up, right? It's like every weekend you're doing another luxury picnic.
It's crazy. Like, I just hate to even think that I didn't want to say this out loud, but I was like, in the beginning, like, oh, no one's gonna pay this much money for this. Mm-hmm. Yes, they will.
Yeah.
And they'll pay more.
Right.
Because with the outside dining now, this is the new normal.
Right.
It's intimate. It's sexy. It's romantic. It's great for a proposal, date night, anniversary, gender reveal, bridal brunch, whatever you want it to be, and no one's doing it here.
Right.
So we brought it to New Jersey. We did it plant-based, which no one that I know is done.
Right.
So everything is vegan from start to finish, and it's different. It's Instagram worthy.
Yeah.
It's Tenfold Photography does all the photos with me. 9 times out of 10, they're booking him for the picnic.
Right.
So shout out to Jerome.
She just love her book.
And no, it's wild. It's an excellent idea. We got great feedback every time we do one.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, it's different. The food is still. We usually do the rice, the empanadas. Sometimes we'll do the crab cake, familiar.
Yeah, the crab
stuff.
cakes look slamming. They look slamming. I saw them the other day. Yeah.
No, I got you. but it's cool. And then like the crazy thing is, in the public parks, you're not even allowed to technically have alcohol.
Right.
No one has even asked because we can't provide that.
Right.
And people just do their own thing. It's 2.5 hours. They chill out by the lake, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Play checkers.
Yeah.
It's
sexy, it's intimate, it's romantic. How'd you come up with the concept? What woke up and you said, this was it, or what was it? Something you saw? Was it because I gotta say, between you and your husband, you guys are some of the most artistic brains I've ever been around, right? And so, what made you come up with the concept? Because I think it's genius.
Well, I wanted to do it way before this pandemic even happened, and the pandemic was kind of just like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have room in our schedule. I was working 40 hours a week. Jerome's working. He does the photography. He does music. Right. We got the baby home with us. And when the pandemic hit, I no longer had a job as of March. So, boom, we had to hit the ground running. So let's fill in the gap. So between catering and the picnics, it's the busiest we've ever been. The picnic, oh my God, I just felt like we could just do something more elevated and bring it to people where it's affordable and it's different.
Right.
And I even said for the longest time too, I don't want a restaurant because the overhead scares the living hell out of me.
Right.
There's no overhead with this.
Right. It's just you know what you got to make, you know the servings, you know everything.
We got a schedule down packed. We know how early we got to leave to set up, what we got to do to break down, what's got to be packed up, how much food we got to get. There's a science behind everything, and listen, numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I think you said something, you hit on a chord. You said you were working 40 hours and you had your catering business. So do you feel like you've gotten to the point where you're like, I'm giving up that 9-to-5 shit?
I don't have a 9-to-5. It's done.
It's done.
It's a wrap. This is my 9-to-5.
Right.
This is my 9-to-5, 24/7. This is it. Like, this is Mama Hill is the full-time job.
Mama Hill's the brand, right?
Mama Hill's the brand. No, but seriously, speaking on that, anybody who is working a 9-to-5 and you are passionate about doing something, go home from work, put your 10th hour put your 10,000 hours in and just really work on your craft. Because if I didn't do that while I was working a 40-hour job,
Right.
I wouldn't be able to have the business that I have now coming
Right.
in.
That's,
You know,
yeah.
you know how many messages we get saying like, "Oh, are you guys open today? Where are you located?
Oh, wow.
How can?" But people don't know.
This is right at a. This
It's
is right at your
not-
home.
Yeah, it's out of the home. It's
Right.
not even like a place, which is like wild to me.
So can we expect a food truck soon or something? I mean, like, you know.
Something. We got stuff in the works.
Listen, between you and Jerome, I know there's always a plan. Let me ask you this, because look,
plan?
COVID-19 has really hurt people, right? And
Right.
look, you know, we're approaching 170,000 deaths, and a lot of people are calling it, you know, pandemic, right? Look, we know it's real. But the one thing that I can appreciate, there are folks still prospering through the pandemic. Again, you said, look, if it basically was not for the pandemic, you wouldn't have had the time to say, okay, let me switch gears and or almost be forced to say, hey, let me do this. And you said, oh, damn, I can do this full time. Oh, damn, this is probably exceeding my financial expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, I mean, again, you talked about, you know, putting the extra hours in, but I mean, how do you feel right now? Like you have the ability, not even the ability, you're prospering through the pandemic.
Right.
Like, what do you attribute that to, you know, outside of the pandemic, but what do you think, like, led to that moment for you to say, okay, let me, I guess, kind of absorb a different kind of freedom, right? You know what I mean? Whether it's the 9-to-5 grind, the regular hustle, and you saying, you know, you just walked out on faith. I mean, what was that feeling like?
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't have a choice. So I worked for a very small lymphatic clinic. So I was a manager of the clinic.
Okay.
And being that we were so small, we weren't able to survive the pandemic.
Wow.
So boom, catering orders came in. Boom.
Right.
So I'm filling my time up, right? So I'm just waiting to hear back. Are we going back? Blah blah blah. But let me tell you something. When I worked the 9-to-5, my boss was very supportive of me, by the way. She was great. She knew what I did on the side, and she was like all for it. Boom, boom, boom. But when you live underneath two different lifestyles, so you know you're a different person at work.
Right.
You're a different character, and I had a lot of fear about doing Mama Hill full time.
Right.
There's a lot of what ifs, but you know you need to take the leap. You get in more debt. Blah blah blah.
I mean, shit happens.
2020 has been a wild year for people, but this is the best year
Right.
it's been for me.
You gotta feel good about that, and it's like, I guess, like, it's encouraging again for us to see, you know, you see your friends grinding, doing that thing, you seeing it pay off, right? Like, it's so close, it's right there. Let me ask you this: how'd you come up with the name Mama Hill?
So I came up with Mama Hill because I started this shortly after Liv was born.
Oh.
And so I just kind of threw Mama on top of my last name, and then, like I said, it was just like a blog I was gonna do for vegan recipes that I was gonna share. I wanted nothing to do with people. I didn't want to like sell things. I didn't want to interact with people. Like, that was out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was gonna be mamahill.com. I was gonna share recipes, be one of these little Pinterest girls, be cool
Right.
on Instagram. But the thing is, when you try to box yourself in and you try to do things like other people do and copy their style, you don't feel right.
Right.
So
Right.
through creating recipes, I found my own style, putting a twist on traditional recipes, and then that's it.
So you've really blown up, man. So, you know, we're proud of what you've done, the body of work that you put together. I love seeing it, man. You made me like vegan food. You know, you're awesome.
That's it. We just gotta convert people a little.
Not what? Listen, man.
And that's the thing. It's not even like going full vegan. I think I'm more for vegan curious people.
Right.
So if you're in a transition, or if you have a lot of my customers usually buy around the holidays too, like pans full of things, because they have a vegan family member, vegan friends coming through, and they want to make them feel comfortable.
Right.
That's usually what it is. Most of my customers aren't even vegan or full vegan.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, well, hell, I mean, you know.
Well, hell.
Right. I mean, that's the crazy part, because your food looks that good, right? And so let me ask you this: how much is vegan food more expensive than, I guess, like the normal consumption of food, or?
So a lot of people assume that it can be,
Right.
and it can, depending on where you go. When I go food shopping, I go to 4 different places.
See, right? So you don't have to go to Whole Foods.
I go to shop. I've never been to a Whole Foods in my life. Ever. I've never
That's
been
crazy.
to one. I never walked in one, never walked past one, never been one.
Wow.
I go to ShopRite, I go to Trader Joe's, I go to Aldi, and I go to Wegmans.
Oh, wow.
So you just have to know who has the best product, what their prices are. So if I go to Trader Joe's, I know that their jackfruit is at least $1 or $2 cheaper than Wegmans.
Really?
Yep, and it's better. See, once you start to like experiment with different things, you get it down pat.
Right.
You build a system for yourself.
Right.
Vegan food doesn't have to be expensive.
And I mean, I think that's the other assumption, that vegan food is always expensive, right? Like,
It's an excuse.
listen, you're not gonna get me to convert today, but I will always have your food. So look, you know me. We always, I'm like the political guy. I always got different views on everything. Tell me how you feel about Senator Kamala Harris being the vice presidential pick. Do you think that's a great pick? Do you think that opens up opportunities for other women? Do you think it's just a good, a lot of people, black girl magic and stuff, but I think that's I think it's good for all women, right? I think it's a great. What are your thoughts on her being a pick?
And I'm going to start off saying this. I'm not a political guru.
Right.
But I had this conversation the other night. I think he was wise for choosing her.
Right.
For many reasons.
Right.
One, she's a woman. Two, she's a black woman. She's a strong personality. And she gets shit done. He's not stupid.
Right.
He's not.
Right.
I mean, he's playing a game.
Right. And the cynics and the pundits will say, well, Joe Biden has like dementia, he's old, right? We know Joe Biden's good. To me, it seems like he still has a sharp memory. He's still doing his thing.
Putting another woman in power does open up other opportunities for girls.
Right.
And even women working who aren't the face of something, working behind the scenes. It's opportunity.
Right.
So, I mean, he did it for himself.
Right.
For many reasons.
Right.
But her being in that seat,
it's beyond like it's almost like the glass ceiling is broken now, right?
Oh yeah.
And I love seeing it because I have two girls, and Layla was like, "Oh, Dad, this is awesome. I really hope he wins or she wins." And she was talking about what that means, like, "Oh, I really could be vice president, right?" And so our kids get to hopefully, knock on wood, live through what we would think would be the first, woman vice president, or for our country, like our first real leader, in an executive office. And a black woman, right? I mean, I think it's just fascinating, and just think about that. And I would love to see more people locally do that, right? Get involved, like I said, get themselves in the arena.
And even if she doesn't win, right? Even if they don't win,
oh God, help us!
Shaking stuff up. We're having this conversation right now. We're not even saying like, we're not even getting super super deep. But if we're having this conversation, everybody else is, because they're like, oh, why they pick her? Why is she there? Well, I don't understand.
Right.
Conversation is good, whether it's bad or good.
Right.
Positive or negative.
Right.
Conversation is good. It's exposure.
And that's the thing, right? So if she's opening the door in that space, right? And like I look at somebody like you as like, I call you you're a small business owner, you're your own CEO. What do you think that means? What does that mean? On a high level, you see Kamala Harris vice president. You see Mama Hill, owner of her own company. What impact do you think that has for your daughter?
Doors and doors. It's confidence.
Right.
That's subliminal confidence.
Right.
Because I don't even have to say it. I can show you better than I can tell you. You can have this.
Right.
If mommy can do it, you can do it.
Right.
If your aunt can do it, you can do it.
Right.
That's it.
Just a grindhawk, man. I love it. Yo, let's just take a quick break, and then we will be back for more action. We got Mama Hill with us. See you in a minute. Yo, we're back with the Leadership Fellowship Podcast. We got to be qualified to have a conversation again. We got Mama Hill back with us. Yo, so we talk about this two things, and then I got to hit you with our speed round. One, what are your thoughts on what we're seeing from Donald Trump, man? Like trying to literally, disassemble the post office and making it harder for folks to give their absentee ballots, and like this is something we've been doing since the Civil War, right? And it's so crazy. He wants to dismantle the post office and cut resources. He's been taking mailboxes off the street. Yo, this dude literally applied for absentee ballot 3 days ago, right? He got his absentee ballot 3 days ago, but he's saying absentee ballot is fraud. I mean, we don't got to jump in too much, but what are your thoughts?
You know what? I think it's insane. I'm making this face because like, are we surprised? Like he's
that's so true.
Crazy.
He is crazy in the bed bug.
Like it's crazy. When I first saw stuff on Instagram, I saw like, the boxes being put in trucks and locked up and everything. I was like, are they doing this because of COVID?
Right.
I was like, oh, that's a little like that's
a little
much,
extra,
right? And then when I heard it was about that, I was like, yo, he has lost his
crazy,
mind, and he's doing everything possible before he gets kicked out of office.
Right. Literally trying to steal the election.
Literally, like, this is so illegal. Like, is it not? Like, is it not?
It is.
Yo,
It is. Tampering with mail.
Yes.
Is a federal offense.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's crazy.
Yeah, he's a nut. He's a lunatic. I think he's, and it's so crazy because even my kids, 11 years old, they.
But it's good that they understand that somebody like that is not a real leader.
Right. And can you believe there's some people that say they think he's done great things for this country? He's been a great leader. I mean,
believe it. I see it every day. A lot of people love the guy.
Yeah,
it's bizarre. Like, I got nothing.
He's outrageous. So I want to touch back on, you being a vegan chef, you having, coming up with your concepts of, food for the community. And a lot of people, I think your husband said this to me one time, people look at vegan or vegetarian and think it's like this white elitist thing, right? And it's not, right? This is something that, if you really think about it, like you go way back when you think about African Americans, you think about Native Americans, they were always folks who ate the vegetables and the berries and plants. They never really ate meat, right? And so that was more of I like to call it a colonialism thing, right?
It
Right?
definitely was. Veganism is not a white thing. And if you do your research, like you were just saying, like you will find out how far down it does trickle. And we were not the ones with remedies.
Right.
Other people were. Other cultures were. And they knew what to eat if you got sick. They knew how to treat their body.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what was available to them. The animals were their friends. They were, they didn't do this.
Right.
But we steal everything. So.
So what made you? I mean, what was it that made you say you changed your lifestyle from a meat eater to now being vegan?
Oh, it was experimental. We were vegetarian for a while. We would take breaks. We would do like fish, not eat fish, but I also had cystic acne on my back for a while,
mm-hmm.
and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. So when I cut dairy out, that's when it went away. But for me personally, it took about 6 months to see a difference in my back, my
wow.
skin. Usually people think, oh, if you cut something out, it'll go away in a couple weeks. That might be true, but it's gonna get worse
not everybody.
before it gets better.
Right.
I remember the period of time when it felt like my whole back broke out, and it was like 3 or 4 weeks into me taking all dairy out of my body.
Wow.
So it really did get worse before it got better.
Right.
But that's what worked for me, and that's why I am vegan, because we were vegetarian beforehand.
Right.
And
so it was a slow walk to systematic, slow walk approach. And what, I mean, how do we fix this, or how do we get, because it's called, it's education, but if we have the opportunity to talk to, our young families or the inner neighborhoods, right? You think about like Baltimore, right? Baltimore is a place that's a food desert. The accessibility to food, right, to a healthy lifestyle is almost inevitable there, right? It's like it's hard, right? Like they got the Burger Kings, they got the liquor stores, they got the Wendy's.
Food and liquor. What Lupe had that album, Food and Liquor.
Food and liquor, right?
That's exactly what it meant. It's a food desert thing. It's there's a convenience store, and then there's a liquor store right next to it. You have no groceries.
Right.
There is no vegetables in there. It's bread. It's Krispies. It's all different.
It's trash.
It's soda.
So right, all salts, all sugars.
But people don't know what you can have, and that is part of why I cook the way I do. It's sometimes my cooking is heavy.
Right.
But I want to let you know that you can have that mac and cheese. You can have that empanada. You can have your rice and beans. You can have your your chicken. You can have your buffalo bites. You can have your wings without eating meat.
Right.
You can have whatever you want.
All these things that we take like that are delicacies, right? That we love, right? You do, you do it. You do the damn thing, right?
Oh yeah, we can keep it simple, or we can elevate it for you. Like I said, like with the crab cakes or the plated appetizers, like
right.
It's limitless. Like you can have whatever you want.
I need Mama Hill.
Understand that.
I need Mama Hill Soul to come out, right? Can I put a plug in there? Can I get Mama Hill Soul? I need Mama Hill Soul. I need Mama Hill Soul food, right? Because I'm getting up that age now where I like enjoying my fat food. I need the Mama Hill Soul food dishes, right? How do I eat vegan fried chicken? I can't get that.
You can get Mike, I made vegan fried chicken.
I can't remember. It's been a while. Listen, I've had a rough week. I've had a rough week. The Black Bat is taking advantage of me again this week.
Oh my goodness.
Take out a stack.
Send him my menu. Send him my site. Refer to my site.
So
Oh shit.
I need the bloopers of this.
Oh gosh. Oh.
So I do one of these things where I love doing our podcast where we get opportunity to learn more about somebody, right? Because we try to keep folks locked in for 45 minutes to an hour. So it's our little kind of like speed dating thing. So I'm gonna ask you just like 5 random questions. Try not to think about it.
Yep.
No fastballs, no curveballs here. Just all. Also, you a softball player too, right? Softball player, soccer player.
Me and Laura will take you out, man.
Listen, man.
Don't put us on the field.
She got one leg, man. She got one leg. She can't do much no more. She can't do much no more.
I can't do distance. I can sprint though.
Wait, so you did what? You did softball? Were you soccer?
I was captain in softball and soccer.
Wow. Look at all leadership skills. All right, so if you had one dream job, if you had your dream job, you could start all over again, what would it be?
Ooh. I'm doing it.
Okay. If you could live one place in the world, what would it be?
It might sound bizarre, but New York.
Why? Why New York?
Constantly inspired. Every once in a while, I used to go to New York every year on my birthday. Just kind of like put the battery in my bag.
What's your biggest motivation?
Live.
I mean that's all of us, right? Like our children. Most of us are children.
It's crazy. They do something to you.
Yeah.
They really do. Like. Mm-hmm.
If you could take one thing and change it in your life, what would it be?
Nothing. I wouldn't be here.
See that's the I'll run the list. I got matter of fact.
You got a running list? Well,
let me put my notebook out.
Listen, you
Just joking.
wouldn't be where you are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you changed all those things.
Absolutely. When there's not too much I would change.
No decision away from who you're supposed to be.
Right.
So there's no change in things.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done.
It's living a gift.
I'm here. You're here doing your thing, making money. I'm here doing my thing, making money. If I made any changes down the line,
it's part of play the tape. Play the tape.
I'll be working for somebody else.
What's your dream vacation? Where do you want to vacation? If you could vacation anywhere, what would it be?
Italy, Paris. Done.
Paris is nice.
Yeah, I'm doing a pop up there. No.
Listen.
I'm gonna say it now.
Listen.
I'm doing a pop up in Paris. I'm dead serious.
Yo, I just want to be on that trip. I just want to be on that trip. I eat croquettes.
Pack your bags.
Listen, I always got a bag ready. Listen, we out here, man. We out here.
No, seriously though. Paris is a big one for me, but definitely Italy. Italy is something I definitely want to explore. But other than that, we gonna travel. You gonna see that? We're gonna travel.
Outside of live, what would you say your inspiration and your motivation is for what you do?
Honestly, I get inspiration from everything. I'm not trying to sound artsy and all that, but like honestly, I could just be looking at like all your books right there, all the different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that look like that looks like something I could do. Let me just pull all those colors and be like, oh, that reminds me of burrito. Like that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
When you say it out loud, but like I draw inspiration from everything. If I saw, honestly, that's how I came up with the buffalo jackfruit empanada. I was like, oh, I love
that sounds so good right
buffalo,
now.
everything, anything buffalo. I was like, buffalo shredded chicken. I was like, what's like chicken? Jackfruit. We're gonna put that in empanada, fry it up. Boom, that was our first pop up. And we only did the pop up because we need a little cash.
And you sell out your pop ups in like an hour. Like.
Oh yeah, we like the pop. You can only pay for it in advance, and then we close it off.
Wow,
you can't buy the day of.
That's again, I'm in awe with the body of work that you put together. My very last question. You have an opportunity. We talked about the Kamala Harris impact. We talked about you being a young CEO, small business owner. What is your if you could give advice to any other young lady or young man, what would it be? What's your like?
You have to be yourself, and this took me a while to figure out. when you start trying to do what so and so is doing, you start to copy their style. You start to do this and that. Be yourself, because you don't have to. You won't ever trip up. Get organized. So when people do offer help, you know what to tell them to do.
Right.
That was a big one for me. That was a big lesson this year for myself. Another piece of advice was to be, just be confident. Surround yourself with people who are supportive of you.
That's huge.
That's
huge.
a big one. Whether it be family or friends or strangers. They don't even have to be your friends, but you know, you get those DMs like, oh, that's fire, boom, oh, that's hot, like, keep going, like, I see you, boom. I get people from out of state, like other vegan people who have Instagrams and big accounts, and they go, oh, I see what you're doing, I love that you feed the people, boom, boom, boom. That stuff makes my day.
Yeah.
That's what I hold on to. Because some people don't have supportive families. We do. We're very lucky. Right. We have a great, solid group of friends. Right. We're very lucky. Like, right. and all of our people are very talented and have their own strengths. But when you lack something, seek people who have strength that you need.
Right.
No, and I'm serious. Like, if your strength was designing websites, like our friend Tavia, or public speaking, like I would lean on you for that. You have to surround yourself with people that are motivational.
I would say, to me, I think that's one of the recipes folks don't talk about, right? Like, who you surround yourself with. When you elevate, you realize some people can't go with you. And it's not because I'm better than thou. It's like, I need the people who are always speaking life into me, who are always speaking confidence into me, who always believed in my dream, who always said, like, you got this. Like, how important that is to the makeup. And right, so even when, people say, I always say, dare to dream, right? And I'm like, I joke and say, I'm a kid from Long Branch. I shouldn't be where I am, right? But if you knew my story, you would say, that motherfucker is not supposed to be where. And you look at a young lady like you, right? Like,
I mean, where I was. I mean, where I grew up. But like, the thing is too, and I want to point one other thing out. If you're in a relationship with somebody, make sure that you're supportive of them and they're supportive of you. Because guess what? If it's not going that way, it doesn't work.
Never works.
It never works. We're partners in everything we do. And it's not easy, but we're partners in everything we do. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but he's supportive of me. He understands the vision. I'm supportive of him. I understand his vision. Because if not, if they don't hold you down, they will hold you back. And that's it. That's solid advice. That's it. That's the advice right there. That's
good.
It.
That's good candid advice. Mama Hill did something for the first time that has ever been done on the Leadership Fellowship podcast. She just ended the podcast by herself with that. I learned, I grew up in the AME church. You don't get up and sing after the pastor laces us.
Oh my God.
So Mama Hill, pleasure. It's a pleasure. Finally getting to talk to you. Obviously we talk about your work, but you being able to share your work and your vision with the world as we speak it into existence. Share your vision with the world. Clearly y'all can tell Mama Hill is qualified to have a conversation. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Hey, and do go follow Mama Hill on social media at Mama Hill. I promise you will not regret it. She says vegan chef. I say she's one of the best chefs that I know. She's putting in the work. It comes with love. It comes with soul. It comes with passion. So huge shout out to Mama Hill. Also go support the producer of our podcast, Tenfold Photography at Mr. Encore, who does a great job of lacing us. So we out of here. Thank you, Mama Hill.
Thank you for having me.